we've so much to talk about. Let's start off with the head high tackles though. And like we've already been talking about Offaly here, but Keelan Kiley took a serious dunt to the head. It was so bad that the helmet went flying off. And what was the decision from the referee?
Yellow card. Yellow card. Listen, I haven't seen a tackle like that, in the sense of like it was that bad that the helmet popped off straight away. Like that tells you exactly where it hit. It's sickening to look at it now, I have to say.
Was there any mitigation for the player? Was it like, did he unluckily, connect with the head? You're going into tackle one way, but it's awkward. Or what was your read on
it? I don't know. Like, tackle would be the word. Like, he was kind of standing his ground almost and looked to kind of lean the shoulder in a small bit. Now Kiley was going at, and anyone that's seen him at top speed, like he's a big man. He's able to build up a fair head of steam, but he was just completely stopped in his tracks. I don't know, Shane. I'm just kind of like, it's only a matter of time before somebody's going to get seriously injured, either there and then, or somebody's going to have some sort of a legacy injury as a result of it, and they're going to go and get scans done in time, and they're going to look at some vertebrae or something like that. It's almost like it's like a jockey falling off a horse. Some of the times, the impact that lads are taking. We saw it with Ronan Matter again the other night, and I'm not saying that lads are going out to do anyone or anything like that. Far from it. I'm not like, we have hurling's a brilliant game. The best game there is, in my opinion. But like, we need to be so careful of. I think we need to be really careful about what is a tackle, what's not a tackle. Do red cards just need to be dished out for this type of thing to kind of nip it in the bud? I'd say they probably do, to be honest with you. And we just need to be. It's like the kind of the choke tackle, or those head high tackles in rugby. They're not gone or anything like that, but they're viewed far differently now than they would have been a couple of years ago. And there's a great deterrent on lads to do them, in the sense of, you're probably going to get sent off. It's probably going to go viral across the internet. Like, you see all these various clips where lads are getting belts in the head. I think we probably need to veer in that direction a small bit. And that's not saying I want to change hurling a load. I don't, but there's a couple of tackles in nearly every game where you're actually kind of wincing. You're thinking, you might get away with that, or someone might end up with concussion, or they might end up with whatever sort of an injury potentially from it.
Yeah, like, I look at a lot of these tackles, like Rhoda Maher's one the other night. I mean, some of the ones that we've seen in some of the Limerick games in recent times, and I think they're red cards, but it doesn't mean that I necessarily think that the players are going out to do the opposition. But like, if you're going in hard, in hurling and Gaelic football, you do have to go in hard, really. I mean, it has to be tackling and not tickling. But when you get it wrong, if you do connect with the opposition's head, you kind of have to suffer the consequences of it. So, like, people come at me straight away with comments, oh, where's your thoughts now on Ronan Maher getting, and I, even before anyone had responded to me or tagged me in anything, I said, yeah, I think it's a red card. Because I do, because it would be ludicrous for me to not say it's a red card. But I don't think that Ronan Maher went out to do your man, so.
Yeah, I think, listen, I love a good shoulder as much as the next man, but how often do you see a good shoulder now? Like, really, like, how often do you see the Paddy Matter?
That's not how you tackle. Like, in fact, it's actually bad tackling technique to go in and try and blow a lad out of it. Like, this would have been a big thing that I loved to go in with a hard shoulder if I could at all. Really enjoyed that. But then one day a coach said to me, like, what are you actually gaining? Unless you knock a player over, which is, rarely enough that it does happen. What are you're gaining? You're
knocking him away from you.
You're giving him momentum to create space for himself.
But it's the hit. It's that we're still programmed like that, aren't we? Within the GA, we're still programmed like, oh, get the big hits in or whatever it is. But how many mistimed shoulders are there now? And it's generally shoulders. It is. It's generally a lad going in like that, and it's maybe a smaller man, like it's Hegarty going in on, let's say, Conor Gleeson. Now, he didn't necessarily get him in the head, but that's what happens like now. Whereas, I don't know. I think we're going to have to start veering away from that. The shoulder's going to have to be viewed an awful lot differently.
Yeah, I mean, when people aren't that familiar with hurling, and maybe they've grown up playing a different sport, or somebody who grew up, not in Ireland, and they think, God almighty, hurling looks dangerous. And like, I would always say to them, yeah, but like, you'd think it is, but you never get hit in the head, really. And like, generally, you don't get hit in the head in the throes of it. Like even when you're close in a ruck or like tackle situation, it's very, very rare you get hit with serious force on the head with a body part or with the hurley or whatever. But the emphasis on tackling over the years has probably changed that a little bit in more recent times. So like this isn't going to go away. It's probably going to get worse if anything else.